lost characters. They're interesting characters who haven't appeared in years in various video games, movies, and TV shows. This may include the late and great mayor from Family Guy, Adam West, or even Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, who real talk may be one of the most horrifying characters I've ever covered on this channel before, or even the long lost and fabled Toadsworth. I'm Zeepsterd, subscribe, get this to 5,000 likes for a sequel to this video, and let's get straight into it. Fregley. Oh my god, Fregley. So first of all, this character was recommended by the YouTube commenter, Monkey, who stated that if I read the newer books of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, I would never see the old side characters from the days of old. Fregley is known for his relatively disgusting behaviors, being a sort of a social outcast, and sort of the most infamous character of the entire school. There are instances where Fregley asks Greg, the main character of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, if he wants to see his secret freckle. He's the embodiment of that weird kid who you didn't want to hang out with back in middle school and you've only heard the most bizarre stories of. He has his own made-up language, in which the students and teachers are unaware how to translate. Not only that, but he's stronger than the protagonists of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, being able to defeat Greg when it comes to wrestling. Fregley is so much of a threat that if he even has a couple bits of sugar, he begins to freak out and say boogie 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 over and over again, causing fear to those around him. What's even funnier is that I remember in the first book, Greg tries to show his former best friend Riley that he himself has friends of his own by hanging out with Fregley, only for Fregley to be so hyperactive that he chases Greg with his own booger, forcing Greg to lock himself in the bathroom, cowering in fear.
What I do remember is that I ended up locked up in Fregley's bathroom while I waited for his sugar high to wear off.
Only for Greg to receive a note from Fregley from underneath the door, saying, "Dear Gregory, I'm very sorry I chased you with the booger on my finger. Here, I put it on this paper so you can get me back." And of course, Greg's finger is placed on the booger. Jesus Christ, it's over, Greg bros. Can I just mention that the person who plays Fregley in the movie, Grayson Russell, does an amazing job bringing the character into life? He embodies the bizarreness of Fregley so well, and is able to replicate iconic scenes from the book with relative ease.
Hey guys, wanna see my secret freckle?
Fregley, sent home for hygiene issues at least once a month.
Greg Heffley, I love you! We're going to be best friends forever. Wanna have a tickle fight?
To be fair, the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid does a great job at being faithful and respectable to the first book. In fact, the original trilogy is fairly consistent when it comes to its humor and its overall genuine heart. It's a very soulful adaptation that I would argue makes Greg seem like a better person than what he actually is in the books. Yes, I do know that Greg is a sociopath theory. In fact, my friend Bernie made that fan theory. I was in the Skype call when it was being made. I'm not even joking. Fregley would continue to appear in various Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. For example, in the third book, The Last Straw, Greg has a crush on a girl named Holly Hills. When Greg is finally able to talk to her, Fregley barges in and says boogie boogie boogie, ruining Greg's wrist game. Later on, while Greg is roller skating, he gets closer to Holly and asks her if she wants to skate with him, in which she mistakes Greg as Fregley. Fregley proceeds to have a bigger role in the fourth Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, Dog Days, which was my personal favorite growing up. It's by this book in which Greg finally realizes that Fregley is actually a big danger and probably shouldn't be walking around streets. He tries to stay away from Fregley, but his mom, who has no idea, ends up inviting Fregley over for a play date. Greg proceeds to slam the door on Fregley, but after a couple minutes, Greg looks outside the window and still sees Fregley standing in front of the door. He tries to call 911, but his mom ends up stopping him. It is here where Greg admits that Fregley is one of the scariest individuals he's ever encountered. In the books that follow Dog Days, Fregley's appearances became more sparse. Every now and then he would cameo, and even in Hard Luck, he would have one major role. Albeit that role is taking a piece of chewing gum and putting it in his belly button, while also trying to make a bubble with it. To which he actually succeeds, and is voted upon as the most popular in the yearbook, due to his ability to chew things with his belly button. When it comes to Fregley, there's a key difference between the books and the movies. In the books, Fregley is seen as a more demonic and terrible figure who Greg really wants nothing to do with after all these incidents. But in the movies, Greg is actually friends with Fregley. Yes, he's still seen as the weird kid, but he's weird alongside the friend group. Plus, he's arguably one of the best characters in the entire trilogy.
And tonight, when you were all fast asleep, I'm going to crawl through your window and give you all a big hug.
Last time Fregley had an appearance in a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, it was for the 14th book, Wrecking Ball, released in 2019. You might be thinking, oh, that wasn't too long ago. You gotta keep something in mind. Wimpy Kid comes out annually, and by the end of this year, we're gonna be on the 19th book. For someone who was a staple in early Wimpy Kid, it's quite strange to see that he hasn't made any other major appearances in almost 5 years. So this is where I start to theorize on what happened to Fregley. Well, in the Diary of Wimpy Kid Do-It-Yourself book, it is revealed that his guidance counselor even called Fregley unpredictable and dangerous. I mean, in one of the first appearances of Fregley, we see him stabbing his kite with a stick, for no real reason whatsoever. So if I had to suspect and give an in-canon reason on why Fregley doesn't appear in the series anymore, it's because he was nothing but trouble and removed from the school, likely expelled. Perhaps there was an instance in which Fregley may have had too much sugar and wilded out. Fregley is obviously a character who doesn't know personal space. All the data provided by the books tell us that Fregley is a lunatic. So it wouldn't be surprising to state that Fregley may have caused an incident at the school against someone else, all under the guise thinking that he was playing with someone. The tragedy of Fregley is that he desperately wants friends. In the Do-It-Yourself book, Fregley draws himself asking a squirrel to be his friend. Fregley asks, "We're going to be best friends forever, right?" To which the squirrel replies, "Yes, that's what Fregley wants. He wants a friend who will stick around forever. Not a friend like Greg, who only wants to be Fregley's friend whenever it's convenient or advantageous for him. He wants someone who will be there to play with him, to handle all his weirdness." It's this segment right here where I don't think Fregley's a complete, psychopath. He has emotions, and he gets sad that he doesn't have any friends. The tragedy here is this. Fregley wasn't only abandoned by his friends and his fellow peers, but he was also abandoned by the book series itself by failing to make a grand appearance ever again. Toadsworth. Toadsworth's story begins in the year 2002. He accompanies Mario and Princess Peach on a beautiful vacation to the lovely Isle Delfino. It is from the opening cutscene where we could deem Toadsworth as Peach's longtime steward. Now don't get used to this description because his identity will shift from game to game. So the cool thing about Super Mario Sunshine, or the bad thing about Super Mario Sunshine according to some other people, is that the game has voice acting. And I always really liked Toadsworth's voice. He's exactly what I imagined an old Toad's voice being like.
What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Now, boys, don't touch that stuff. I am most concerned with the well-being of the princess in this dreadful heat. Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
Once Princess Peach is kidnapped by Bowser Jr., Toadsworth worries for much of the rest of the game. However, after she's saved, then Toadsworth can be seen finally enjoying his vacation. Even seeing him riding a roller coaster, which is kind of based. Following his first appearance in Mario Sunshine, the 2000s kind of felt like the decade of Toadsworth. He would appear as a stone statue for Mario Golf on the GameCube, also appearing in Mario Kart Double Dash, driving the parade cart, and then suddenly in the Mario RPGs of the 2000s, we learn a lot of lore about him. Lore that's actually quite fascinating, and also not what I expected. Like the fact that he himself is a womanizer. At the end of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Toadsworth hugs and embraces a royal attendant named Lady Lima, in pain that they have to leave each other. As you can see here, Princess Peach is caught off guard by this, covered her mouth, not expecting the two to have such a deep connection. Even more interestingly enough, the developers for Superstar Saga revealed that Toadsworth and Lima were meant to have a deeper romantic plot. The developers got cluttered with other matters revolving the story while creating Superstar Saga, so this idea never came to fruition. However, this brief moment right here was a nod to that potential plot point. Unfortunately for Toadsworth and Lady Lima, Lima never appeared again in a Mario game. Yeah, she appears in the remake for Superstar Saga, but yet again, none of that romantic plot points were ever touched upon. In Paper Mario The Thousand-Year Door, Toadsworth once again accompanies Princess Peach while on vacation, and where he was in shambles, not knowing what to do once Princess Peach was kidnapped once again. It's okay, cause Mario shows up and goes on and handles it his own way, while Toadsworth is revealed via the in-game tabloid to be having some sort of fling with a chef by the name of Zesty. Dude, Toadsworth, what are we doing here, buddy? Is this why you like going on vacations with Peach? So you can just fool around with other women? Who knows how many girlfriends this guy has. Oh, and it's revealed he's 60 years old as well. Toadsworth would continue to appear in various other games, such as tennis, baseball, even appearing in an exclusive Japanese Nintendo DS game, playing Mahjong, and even being the hardest computer to fight in the entire game, beating both Bowser and Petey Piranha. For Mario Party 7, Toadsworth invites multiple Mario characters to play a couple minigames on a cruise while he walks around guiding the main menu. So far I've been telling you basic things about Toadsworth that aren't really that grand, more just neat little things. How about something a little more sophisticated? This is where the game Mario & Luigi Partners in Time comes in. Partners in Time has to deal with time travel, using Professor Egad's time machine. In fact, old Toadsworth meets up with younger Toadsworth to take care of a younger version of Peach. It's pretty funny. Not only that, but they also teach Mario and Luigi an assortment of tricks. Even more interestingly enough, and a special shout out to GameXplain for informing me about this piece of trivia, on the Partners in Time website, it stated that Toadsworth is Peach's father. Whoa. However, this is never mentioned within the game itself, so it's likely the creators of that website just screwed up, and that Toadsworth isn't the actual father of Princess Peach. I mean, he is a father figure. He definitely has a sense of authority when it comes to the Mushroom Kingdom, with fans even theorizing that Toadsworth himself was the king of the Mushroom Kingdom prior to retiring and giving the throne to Princess Peach. Personally, I think the website made a mistake. I don't think Toadsworth is the actual dad of Princess Peach, especially because Princess Peach is a human being and Toadsworth is, well, a toad. Well, actually, now that I think about it, Peach's original name was Princess Toadstool, so it's possible her mom was human, while Toadsworth was a toad. It's established in Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story that Toadsworth is one of the head counsel to Princess Peach. I've never thought about Mario politics this deeply, but in terms of the Mario games of the 2000s to early 2010s, Toadsworth is prominent as a key advisor to the princess. In fact, in the Mario spin-off Fortune Street, it's insinuated that Toadsworth is also responsible for the finances of the Mushroom Kingdom. However, following his mild appearance in Bowser's Inside Story, Toadsworth wouldn't appear as a prominent character yet again until Mario & Luigi Dream Team, and where he once again joins Mario and Peach on a vacation, which I don't blame him. Considering all he does for the Mushroom Kingdom's government, he probably needs it. But guys, Toadsworth doesn't really do anything in this game. I guess he gets scared at the beginning of the game and becomes unsure about the entire trip, followed by getting barked at by the weird blocky dog, who by the way is a character I also miss from the Mario & Luigi series who we don't see at all anymore. And you can argue Toadsworth is like that in other games, but I digress, as at least he has some killer like side lore stuff that you can discover if you do like side quests. Here there's not really anything. 2013 marked Toadsworth's last true new appearance. Ever since then, Toadsworth has only appeared in remakes of Mario RPG games. Most recently, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. This is when things get a little too testy when it comes to lost characters. I partially count remakes. Yes, I know, the character is appearing yet again, but we're not getting any new dialogue or lore having to do with the character, or even him guiding the game's main menu or whatever. It's more like, oh, I saw him in that position before. There's nothing else new there. What I personally want, and what I think many fans want, is Toadsworth to appear yet again in a brand new Mario title. I believe Nintendo lost this opportunity when they failed to include him in Princess Peach Showtime, a new Princess Peach game that came out in 2024, that an homage to Super Princess Peach for the Nintendo DS, which came out in 2006, and actually had Toadsworth making an appearance by giving the princess the main item she uses throughout the game, an umbrella. Why couldn't Toadsworth appear in this new game if he mattered so much when it came to Princess Peach's council? Here's one more thing. Something that made many wonder, where the hell is Toadsworth? In the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which came out in 2023, many head members of the Mushroom Kingdom government are arguing with each other about what to do with the pending Bowser invasion. The lead counsel of Toads is this blue toad with glasses, who acts almost as if he's the elder of the Toads. And there's a reason for this. If you look at the concept art for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, you see some recognizable Toads, including Toadsworth, meaning that he could have made it in the movie, except something changed. I thought it would have been sick to see Toadsworth in the movie. I don't know why they removed him from it. I need to stress something. Toadsworth isn't completely missing in action. We're lucky that we even see him in remakes. But when it comes to opportunities to present him in future Mario media, Nintendo needs to stop avoiding him. Personally, I found the backstory of him potentially meeting Peach when she was a young baby and taking her in to raise her as Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. It adds to interesting lore about not only Peach, but to Toadsworth. Toadsworth, I'm sorry I sprayed water at you so many times while playing Mario Sunshine.
Oh no! Blah, 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 blah.
On to the next one. Mayor Adam West from Family Guy. Recommended to me by YouTube commenter Spongy Spectrum. And if you have a recommendation for a lost character, go ahead and comment it below. Adam West was voiced by the actor of the same name, the real-life Adam West, who was made originally famous for his role as Batman back in the 1960s. Growing up, I remember Adam West for more than just Family Guy. I remember him making an appearance in Very Odd Parents, as well as The Simpsons, and I knew his version of Batman was one of the deliberate inspirations of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and SpongeBob. Oh, I also remember him appearing in Chicken Little, playing the exaggerated version of Chicken Little. Oh, you can't forget him playing Uncle Art in Meet the Robinsons, one of the best characters in the entire movie.
If Omega Galaxy needs a large cheese and sausage thin crust, I'll be there in 30 minutes. Or it's free.
He was a voice actor who loved whatever he did.
I certainly don't mind making fun of myself or being a little self-deprecatory, whatever. Having a sense of humor about yourself, not taking myself too seriously, and that certainly is what it was with Family Guy.
In Family Guy, Adam West was the mayor of Quahog. Adam West first appeared in season 2 of the show, and he had some of the best bits in the entire show. I mean, I still remember Adam Wee.
My name isn't Adam Wee. Or is it? Who am I? What number did you dial? Don't ever call here again. I guess I told him, nobody messes with Adam Wee.
Adam West was always friendly, very childish, but that naiveness made him iconic and relatively wholesome when it came to everyone else in the show. As Family Guy became more jaded in its humor, and the family was constantly at odds with each other, Mayor West remained a constant. That someone so aloof could remain still charming. I can't say the same thing about what happened with Peter Griffin, however. Adam West frequently remained gentle and kind, even when he was stabbing the ocean.
The Bible declares an eye for an eye. So let us now take our vengeance on this murderous ocean. You won't be hurting anyone anymore.
It's crazy because the actual actor Adam West played the mayor of Quahog for 17 years. I mean, of course, his Batman role will always remain iconic, but I would argue Adam West being the mayor of Quahog is as equally as iconic. Adam West even ends up marrying Lois's sister, Carol Punishment, in a wedding in where Adam West does Adam West things.
Now let's hear your fake laugh.
It's not to say he's always innocent all the time, because sometimes he could be like evil. I mean, one time he killed the Noid. Adam West remained iconic until the real-life Adam West's passing in 2017. He died at the age of 88 due to leukemia. In reaction to the death of Adam West, Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, stated this: "Family Guy has lost its mayor, and I have lost a friend. Adam West was a joy to work with, and the kind of guy you always wanted to be around. His positivity, good nature, and sense of fun were undeniable, and it was always a big jolt of the best kind of energy when he walked in to record the show. He knew comedy, and he knew humanity. I am beyond fortunate to have had the privilege of working with him, and he will be profoundly missed by all of us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for that you have given. Mr. Mayor, you're irreplaceable." In universe, the death of Adam West is acknowledged in the episode Adam West High. Originally, the high school in the show was named James Woods High, to which Brian suggests renaming the high school after Adam West. Eventually, Brian is inspired to run for mayor himself, which leads Quagmire to run against him out of spite. Eventually, Quagmire and Brian are having an altercation on a campaign bus, to which the bus driver is knocked out cold, putting the bus barely hanging on the side of a cliff. All seems to be lost until the very last moment, when a miracle happens.
Mayor West?
Eventually, a new mayor is elected to Quahog, known as Wild West, who basically embodies Sam Elliott and is voiced by Sam Elliott. He is revealed to be Mayor West's cousin, and although the rest of the town acknowledges that he may not be Mayor West, he's able to hold office competently and actually has some decent gags. there's not really a lot to salute Family Guy for. The jokes are very hit or miss, usually misses, but when it comes to respecting their voice cast, wow. Adam West was a humongous and fundamental part of the show, one of the bigger side characters that there was. Family Guy isn't really beautiful, but in the way that they saluted Adam West and paid tribute to him was with very much respect and with the acknowledgement of his goofy side.
I want to be a mayor in real life. So I'm here to ask you to make me the mayor of your town. Vote for me, Adam West. It'll be a home run.
Rest in peace, Adam West. I'll see you all in the next one.